올라온다 올라온다. 아닌가? 올라오는 건가? 올라오는 건가? 아닌가? 아 갑자기 주스 마시고 싶어. 뭐야 갑자기 초록색 뭐지? 초록색 여드름 같은 게. 뭐뭐 있는지 끝까지 봅시다. 아 스네퍼님 별풍선 1개 팬클럽 가입 감사합니다. 또 다른 패턴 없나? 이게 끝이에요? 패턴 더 없나? 궁금한데 패턴. 노래가 참. 뭐야 별도 없어. 오오오. 아 레알 여드름 나오네. 일단 내려가 봅시다. 이거 뭐야?
No, wait. Where are you going?
알았어요. 다시 나올게요.
Right. Where were we?
다시 가야지. 구슬 아이스크림.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
알았어. 다시 갈게.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
싫은데?
No. What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
그래.
You are going to stay here, aren't you?
싫은데? 이제 저장소를 하고.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
You will die.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
알았어, 다시 내려갈게. 와우. 뭐야, 더 이상 말을 안 하잖아. 아, 재미없어. 나가버려야지. 말할 줄 알았는데 사랑이 식었군. 자, 오신 분들 추천하고 즐겨찾기에 한 번씩 부탁드릴게요. 지금 즐겨찾기 4,300 돌파했나요? 뭐야, 끝이네? 야! 안 죽었어.
Thank God, you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
오케이, 돌아갑시다. 아, 딱 4,300명이에요. 감사합니다.
This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop
아니요,
moving,
한글 패치 있습니다.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
144명만 하면은 4,444명인가?
What can I say to convince you?
한 번 더 간다. 인간이 가장 공포를 느낀다는 11m. 제가 한번 가보겠습니다.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
야, 한 번 더.
Am I reading the situation correctly?
짜.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know
한 번 더
anymore.
갑시다.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
한 번 더 찌야.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
아, 끝났네요.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
다음 분기점은 4시간 엔딩 하겠습니다. 옵션 아 소리 너무 크다. 소리 그냥 꺼야지. 아 여러분들과 토크를 하겠습니다. 아 동전 끼워둘까? 동전 끼워두고 아까 공부하다가 말았는데 나머지 공부나 더 할까? 아 동전 끼워도 안 되잖아. 연타를 해야 되네. 누르고 있으면 안 되네. 아, 저장을 해두고 다음에 시간 날 때마다 누르겠습니다. 하루에 10분씩 좋아요. 노가리 할 때마다 좋아요. 아, 노래가 지금 소리가 다 꺼졌지?
Could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
아 맞다. 그거 해야겠다. 4분 30초 안에 엔딩 보기. 엔딩 리스트요? 아 정말요? 보내주시면 감사하죠. 잠시만요. 4분 30초 안에 엔딩 보겠습니다. 가다. 타이머 준비 땅.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
도전과제 켰죠 당연히.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
아 오류 났어. 아 도전과제 제목이요? 뭐야? 나 도전과제 깼어? 언제 깼지? 자, 여유롭게 다른 엔딩을
A soft
보겠습니다.
wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped shortly after.
적당한 엔딩
Stanley hoped that he would
추천받습니다.
one day see weather.
아 맞다, 리스트 받았지? 아 근데 리스트는 받긴 받았는데 잠시만요. 좀만 리스트 확인 좀 하고. 어디 보자. 야, 이 도표가 이렇게 되어 있네. 아, 와, 이런 식으로 나와 있구나. 뭔가 참 많은데 일단은 콘솔로 쓰는 SV cheat 1
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find. I looked at many, many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that of all tables I looked at, this one is the most serious. I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have, which is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No jokes, no games. Outside of this room, I might be more tolerant of those things, but now we're in the room. Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room. Perhaps after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
Go. 뭐야? 문 열어줘. 문 열어줘. 노클립이요? 노클립. 안 되는데? 갇혔어. 이게 끝이에요? 서버 치트 또 쳐봐요. SV cheat 1.
Whoa! Did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotion, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you're devastated by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try.
한 번 더. 누가 이기는지 해보자.
Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It isn't serious enough. That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
뭐야? 대화 벌써 끝이야? 안 돼. 그럴 순 없어. 야, 이제 더 이상 대화도 안 해. 세계의 힘을 찾아보자.
Stanley.
잠시만. 어떤 걸 할까?
Wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
창문 엔딩은 뭐예요? 창문 엔딩 혹시 아세요? 어떻게 해야 되는 건가요? 창문 엔딩은? 뛰어내리기? 어떻게 뛰어내려요? (434에서) 이렇게 올라가는 거야? 뭐야?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
페이스 펀치는 이미 해봤습니다. 네, 지겨워.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
노래 나오네.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered
노래 부르는 겁니까?
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them, some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a
네, 새해 복
meaningful
많이
way.
받으세요.
But his brain had long ceased to function.
스틸리
Which is why
기수곡이야?
he is in this parable. and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too.
아, 못 들어주겠다. 그렇다면은 아까 그냥 노로 해볼까?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
떨어진다.
At
천국
first,
엔딩?
Stanley
천국
assumed
엔딩은
he'd
뭐예요?
broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
어떻게 하는 거죠?
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I had brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come?
뭐가 저렇게 많아.
Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard
알겠습니다.
all the narration?
419번부터.
And this is this. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens
일단
in
이거
this
보고요.
one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
뭐야, 끝났어. 일단은 419부터 가겠습니다. 뭐야 여기?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
이게 뭐죠? 아, 가끔 이런 방이 나온다고요? 아, 잦은 재시작으로 바뀐다고? 아, 세상에 이거 어떡해.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door
뭐야?
on his left.
아, 뭐야?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
아,
Perhaps
다시 재시작. 아, 근데 그 오피스에서 뭐 가끔씩이래. 그 파란색 오피스에서 뭐 엔딩 있어요? 따로? 다시 한번 거기 오피스 가볼까? 언제 나오지? 공포 게임이냐고요? 아니요. 아, 그건 아직 몰라요. 알겠습니다. 일단은
all of his
419번 방으로
co-workers were
가겠습니다.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
419번. 아, 이거다. 그 다음에 423. 421 말고 423. 이거 아닌가? 423 아니에요? 아, 재시작해야 돼? 뭐야? 아, 이건 뭐죠?
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
페이퍼 엔딩? 페이퍼 엔딩은 뭐예요? (423) 아, 여기 있다. 아, 엔딩이 아니라 그냥 깔리는 거야? 그 다음에 사장까지 가야 돼.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
비서 컴퓨터.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
아, 이건가요? 아, 뭐 그렇네요. 오케이, 다음 또 재시작. 그 다음에 스탠리 그거지? 또 페이퍼야. 아닌가? 이거 아닌가 본데? 434야?
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
입력이 안 돼.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
이 버튼 눌렀는데? 아, 됐다. 아, 드디어 됐네. 또 창문 엔딩 볼 뻔. 아, 그 다음 마지막 내 거다. 좋았어. 와우. 앞에 웰컴이겠지? 이게 뭐야? 승천했다고? 아, 프레임 저하 쩔어. 다시 시작하겠습니다. 또 블루 오피스네. 문 닫아버렸어. 아, 뭐야. 아, 또 승천함. 다음 뭐야? 가자마자 문 닫힘.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
아, 잘못 눌렀나 내가? 또 블루 오피스네.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
이거?
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
어? 화이트보드의 엔딩. 웰컴 투 더. 뭐야 이게 콘솔 뭐지? 또 엔딩을 봤네요. 콘솔에 쳐보라고? 세븐 바크 이거 세븐이 맞아? 1바크인가? 아 이거예요? 파크 뭐 안되는데? 아 이거야? 그냥 바크 오! 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 요!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
이거요? 이건가? 이거 문 빠져나오기 뭐예요? 이거예요? 아니면? 아 청소도구함은 아까 봤는데 사장실 문? 그러니까 이거 아니야? 아 여기 아니야? 아 여기입니까?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley
이게 어떻게 타이밍 맞추지?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is
Well.
great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
이거 문이 원래 이랬던가? 개소리 좀 꺼줘요. 재밌는데요, 개소리?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors to the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
Park off.
office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
사장문.
Coming to a
깨고야
staircase,
말겠어.
Stan walked upstairs to his boss's office.
아니요. 하도 청소도구함을 가서 그래요. 아유 잠깐만 프레임 버퍼 걸려.
The moment he entered,
예스. 이게 답니까? 뭐야? 어떻게? 우와! 여기 문이 열리네? 잠깐만, 저장. 여기 문이 안 열렸었잖아요. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. 이 열리는지 몰랐어요. 엘리베이터요? 아니요? 야, 갑자기 말을 안 해, 얘가. 말을 안 하니까 무서워. 해설자 사장실에 갇혔다고? 뭐야? 오, 야, 연문이 열렸어. 어? You're now leaving. 당신이 이제 나갈 수 있습니다. 엘리베이터네? 엘리베이터는 못 타는구나. 이쪽 문은 안 열리고요. 일단 저장 한번 하고. (754) 뭐야? 무서워. 해설자 없어서. 런치 트레일러야? 아니요. 데모밖에 안 해봤는데. 문 안 열리네. 뭐지 이게? 756. (757) 757 758 758 759 759 뭐야? 저장. 취소. 760인데 이스케이프 포드 런치베이. 이스케이프 탈출. 야! 잘 있어라. 난 탈출한다. 오. 뭐지? 끝났어. 아, 좋은 엔딩이었다. 이스케이프.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
모르겠지만
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
이번에는
missed a memo.
오른쪽 문으로 가보죠. 뭐지? 원래 이랬나? 원래 이런 복도가 있었나요, 님들? 원래 이런 복도가 있었어? 뭔가 이상한데. 일단 잠깐 저장을 해놓고.
When Stanley came to a set of two
좋아.
open doors,
오른쪽.
he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
잠시만요. 여기서 뭐하지? 뭐 열리는 거 있나? 다 뒤져봐야지. 이 게임의 목적이요? 교훈을 주는 거예요.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
열려있는 첫 번째 문.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door,
엘리베이터.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
아, 이거 봤던 거 같은데?
from here, it's, left. Oh, no.
Oh,
no, it's to the
fuck.
right, man. Right, man. Mistake. No, not the right. Why have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
이거 본 거잖아. 아, 이거 예전에 본 엔딩인데, 이거.
Right, left, down.
이거 본 거예요. 날 농락시키는 엔딩이었어.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
꽤 많이
just to
본 것
admire
같은데.
it.
몇 시죠? 7시 돼가네. 일단은 스탠리 파랍은 여기까지 하고